And you're all fine-looking men. My dogs are desperate to meet you. I haven't fed them for 7 days. They're ravenous.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 TV moments when the hero and villain finally meet.
Jessica. I'm not surprised to see me. You had to know I'd come for you.
For this list, we'll be looking at the best, most satisfying moments when small-screen heroes face their antagonistic counterparts for the first time. This can mean a face-to-face meeting, or a long built-up moment of catharsis, or revelation that casts everything into a new light. Either way, beware of spoilers ahead. Do you love when TV shows make us wait for the hero and villain to really meet? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Lord Zed tries to replace the Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. In Tommy Oliver's last episodes of The Green Ranger, Lord Zed finally sees Zach, Jason, Billy, Kimberly, and Trini face to face.
Welcome, Rangers! Perhaps you're wondering where you are. Well, you're now in my dimension, known as the Otherworld.
One might think he would take this as an opportunity to fight the Rangers himself. Instead, he shows them their soon-to-be replacements, the Dark Rangers, steals their powers, and lets them go, defenseless as ever.
Yes, a fitting punishment. You will suffer the agony of knowing you can do nothing to save Angel Grove.
The moment is filled with tension that leaves us genuinely afraid for our protagonists. Thankfully, though, the Rangers, thanks to Tommy's resourcefulness, get their powers back from their evil counterparts.
You've lost. You should know by now, you don't mess around with the Power Rangers.
Then they defeat the baddie and give the now former Green Ranger a well-deserved send-off. Number 9. Richard Kimball finally faces the one-armed man, The Fugitive. The series finale of The Fugitive gave audiences the showdown they had been waiting for when Dr. Richard Kimball finally meets the one-armed man.
Drop it.
After chasing his wife's killer across the country for 4 seasons, Richard has the villain in his grasp. Though he's arrested by his begrudging nemesis, Lieutenant Philip Gerard, he manages to get the detective to give him one last chance to prove his innocence.
24 hours, Gerard. At the end of that time, I'll crawl into the police station. On the end of a leash, if that's the way you want it.
On a tower in an amusement park, Kimball and the killer fight for their lives. The man dies, Richard is exonerated. This finale's record-breaking viewership changed the way executives thought about the end of television shows.
After all, for 4 years now, we've, both of us, kept an innocent man in hell. Well, now we're going to end that.
Arguably, the rest of this list owes their big climactic moments to what The Fugitive accomplished. Number 8. Arthur Mitchell's ominous Hello, Dexter Morgan. Dexter. Vigilante serial killer Dexter Morgan spends season 4 of the series hot on the trail of seemingly virtuous but secretly evil Arthur Mitchell, aka the Trinity Killer.
This isn't a police car.
I work undercover.
Wait, where's my sister?
After discovering the church deacon's murderous ways, Dexter realizes he feels a kinship with the fellow criminal and patriarch. So he starts a friendship with him using an alias. But the ruse is discovered. The Trinity Killer follows the blood tech, sneaks into the station, and a confrontation ensues. Mitchell stares down at Dexter, and the two are finally both aware of the other's true identity.
Hello, Dexter Morgan.
After several episodes of Dexter making last-minute decisions not to end Arthur, it's a climactic and satisfying moment. Number 7. Jessica Jones reunites with Kilgrave. Jessica Jones. Something the first season of Jessica Jones does incredibly well is let Kilgrave be an ominous presence.
The right people are going to pay for what's been done. And tell him I don't expect him to forgive me.
The audience gets to see more and more of him as the episodes go on and the tension builds. Finally, after the villain forces Jessica's neighbor to take his own life, she's had enough of his destruction.
The lights are off to suggest no one is here. But you couldn't take a hint.
Because someone is here, but not Jessica?
She takes the blame for the murder, hoping this will cause his mind control powers to finally be caught on camera. But before she can get to the Supermax prison, where that kind of recording is even possible, Kilgrave shows up at the 15th precinct, where he professes his undying love.
I love you.
It's creepy, it's chilling, and Jessica Jones is not okay. Honestly, we aren't either.
Oh, everyone, calm down. You're killing the mood.
Number 6. Jon Snow meets Ramsay Bolton before the battle. Game of Thrones. One of the primary conflicts of the 6th season of Game of Thrones comes to a head when Jon Snow and Ramsay Bolton meet preceding their impending battle.
Thank you for returning Lady Bolton safely. Now, dismount and kneel before me. Surrender your army and proclaim me the true Lord of Winterfell and Warden of the North.
The ever-virtuous Snow shuts down the idea of trading Sansa's freedom to end the conflict between their houses. And Bolton, with his big villain energy, won't fight Snow man to man.
Well, your men want to fight for you. When they're here, you wouldn't fight for them.
Instead, he chooses to put his life above his warriors. With Game of Thrones' brutal tendencies, it was hard to say who would come up on top, and over 7.6 million people tuned in to see it all play out. Consequently, it became one of the series' most critically acclaimed episodes.
I've reconsidered. I think that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Number 5. Matt Murdock is introduced to Wilson Fisk, Daredevil. When Daredevil Matt Murdock discovers Wilson Fisk, alias Kingpin, is the man behind a criminal conspiracy in Hell's Kitchen, a battle begins.
Who is this?
I think you know. You've been asking about me.
The pair spend most of the first season dancing around one another. Daredevil stirs up chaos for the crime boss. They argue over the police radio about who really wants to rescue New York.
You're feeding off this city like a cancer. I want to save this city, like you. Only on a scale that matters.
And round it goes, until Matt shows up at the art gallery where Fisk's significant other works.
You're probably wondering what a man who can't see is doing in an art gallery.
I didn't want to be forward.
I'm told by my guests my apartment's a bit stark.
The Kingpin walks in and our hero clenches his fist. He knows who he's dealing with, but his foe doesn't. It goes without saying, but the tension is palpable. Vincent D'Onofrio's imposing presence as Fisk and Charlie Cox's intense energy as Murdock make the scene extra memorable.
The city has suffered long enough under the burden of poverty and decay.
Number 4. Rick Grimes parlays with the Governor, The Walking Dead. When Rick Grimes meets the Governor in The Walking Dead, their negotiation is calm on the surface, but the stakes are anything but small.
We have a lot to talk about.
Of course, that's exactly why it's such an unforgettable moment. After the Governor discovers the existence of Rick's group earlier in Season 3, he begins attacking them. Of course, our main characters fight back and more violence follows. So when the pair get together, they're hoping to come to some kind of arrangement.
You blame him for scooping up Glenn and Maggie in the first place?
Exactly. I was trying to sort it out when you attacked.
So it was his fault.
The antagonist attempts to bond with Grimes over whiskey and their dead wives. In the end, though, Rick is smart enough to see that the man can't be trusted.
You can have everything you want. I told you I don't care about you. You think about it.
Number 3. Aang battles Ozai. Avatar, The Last Airbender. The battle between Aang and Ozai from Avatar: The Last Airbender was literally 100 years, and an entire series in the making. Ozai's power grows stronger due to Sozin's comet's passing, and he plans to leverage that power to destroy the Earth Kingdom.
I know you're scared, and I know you're not ready to save the world. But if you don't defeat the Fire Lord before the comet comes, there won't be a world to save anymore.
Aang is forced to act immediately. He confronts his enemy, and the two begin their first and final battle.
After generations of Fire Lords failed to find you, now the universe delivers you to me as an act of providence.
When Aang starts to get weary from the fight, things look bleak. That is, until the Avatar state is triggered.
Come on out, little boy. You're about to be...
Now he's poised to kill Ozai, but he spares him and removes his powers instead. This epic meeting ends in the kind of triumph totally worthy of a series finale.
You can't use it to hurt or threaten anyone else ever again.
Number 2. Sherlock finds out who Moriarty actually is. Sherlock. In the BBC's Sherlock, the titular detective is getting tired until a series of hostages provide a new but deadly puzzle to be solved.
12 hours to solve my puzzle, Sherlock.
Our hero works out every mystery, but isn't able to save everyone. To make matters more complicated, the person behind the deadly game remains a secret until Watson becomes the final hostage and Jim Moriarty reveals himself.
Is that a British Army Browning L9A1 in your pocket? Or are you just pleased to see me? Both.
The scene is enthralling, to put it mildly, because as it turns out, the two had met already. Jim was dating morgue specialist Molly Hooper to spy on Sherlock. The villain had been close by the whole time, with the scheme stemming from his obsession with the protagonist.
If you don't stop prying, I will burn you. I will burn the heart out of you.
Talk about seamlessly blending excitement and clever storytelling. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. The Turtles meet Shredder. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The villain unexpectedly shows up and kicks the good guys' butts.
Your skills are impressive. But they will not save you.
Ezra and Kanan fight Darth Vader. Star Wars Rebels. The heroes barely survive a battle with the Dark Lord.
Your master has deceived you into believing you can become a Jedi.
Cole sees the Yellow King. True Detective. Cole finally confronts the scared and grotesque antagonist.
Don't move! On your knees, now. On your knees, now!
No.
Will meets Hannibal. Hannibal begins his treatment of Will.
Thoughts are often not tasty.
No, mine. No effective barriers.
I build forts.
Associations come quickly.
So do forts.
Homelander meets Huey. The Boys. The encounter makes for intense viewing.
Something wrong, Huey?
No. No, I'm totally comfortable. Why would you ask that?
Well, your blood pressure is 150/90.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Bob reveals himself. Twin Peaks. Special Agent Dale Cooper and Sheriff Harry S. Truman from Twin Peaks set out to answer one central question. Who killed Laura Palmer? The answer, it turns out, is Bob, an evil spiritual entity that possessed Laura's father, Leland.
I suppose you want to ask him some questions, huh? Did you kill Laura Palmer?
And he's been lurking in the shadows for quite some time. Thanks to some dreams and another more benevolent spirit named Mike, Agent Cooper discovers Bob's existence and ultimately learns that Leland is its current host. The malevolent force reveals himself at the police station and admits to it all.
One chance out between two worlds. Fire! Walk with me!
His appearance is a gut punch as the heroes finally discover the depths of supernatural evil they've been up against this whole time.
I saw him in my dream. He said he wanted to play. He opened me and I invited him.
Did we mention Bob's also super creepy? Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.